beautiful people! Welcome to another matchup video, where today we're doing something Marvel related again. It's been a while since we've done that. Plus, it's another Marvel vs. Halo matchup. Today, we're doing the Avengers vs. the Covenant. Now, before we start, I think I need to clear some stuff up and talk specifics of the fight. I will be using the MCU Avengers as they were during the events of the 2012 Avengers film. We'll basically be taking the Chitauri, the alien invaders from that movie, and replacing them with the Covenant. So forget Loki, forget the Chitauri, we're talking solely the Avengers versus the Covenant. The Covenant will also be limited to a small and manageable force, considering they're a spacefaring faction that would realistically just glass the planet on a mass scale. We'll be giving the Covenant one single Covenant carrier, since the Chitauri also only had one mothership. I'm thinking I'll give them the Long Night of Solace. I'm trying to make this fight seem as evenly matched as possible, so it doesn't just feel like a wash for one side. Unlike the Chitauri though, the Covenant won't be hiding their ship behind a portal, because that's obviously just not how their technology works. The Covenant carrier will be hanging around in low orbit, deploying troops whenever necessary. There will also be no glassing, as the Covenant will be in search of a Forerunner artifact or something. But without further ado, let's get this show on the road. The Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes. When called upon to defend the Earth from Loki and the Chitauri invaders, they successfully repel them, saving the Earth from certain doom. First up on the chopping block, we got Black Widow. After being sent away and trained by the Red Room at a young age, Natasha's life became dedicated to becoming a lethal living weapon. Natasha is an expert martial artist, being skilled enough to take down multiple trained adult men with only her fists and basic equipment like cables and mace. Her arsenal consists of batons, Widow's Bite tasers, grappling hooks, knives, and Glock 26 pistols. Up next is Hawkeye. Being a former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Clint Barton is an expert combatant and marksman. He's skilled enough to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Black Panther, and likes to keep his opponents on their feet by using many different trick arrows for multiple purposes. These arrows have outsmarted Loki, sent grown men flying with massive explosions, disarmed opponents, and dissolved trees. Some of the trick arrows Hawkeye usually has up his sleeve are explosive arrows, electromagnetic arrows, acid arrows, pepper spray arrows, net arrows, and grapple arrows. Up next is Captain America. Steve Rogers was already a man with a golden heart, but after being juiced up by the super soldier serum, he became a true American hero. Cap is strong enough to send grown men flying, physically contest with characters like Ultron and Iron Man. Send Ultron flying into a concrete pillar so hard, he leaves a small crater in the concrete. And of course, he can hold a helicopter back from taking off. Based off the Washington, D.C. running scene from Winter Soldier, it's been estimated that at a relaxed speed, Cap can run about 26 miles per hour, but could increase to 50 or 60 miles per hour, such as when he kept up with Black Panthers during the Infinity War Wakanda battle, or straight up outran cars during Civil War. Cap's vibranium shield will be doing the vast majority of the durability work for him here. He's taken direct energy blasts before, and he didn't exactly take it well. I mean, he still recovered shortly after, but if he gets put down in the heat of battle and gives an enemy enough time to blast them repeatedly, he'll be in trouble. But we have seen his shield take very powerful energy weapons before, and it has been very effective every time. Up next, we got the invincible Iron Man, otherwise known as Tony Stark, the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. During this battle, just like the events of the first Avengers film, Tony will be wearing the Mark 7, meaning his feats will be limited to that armor and any we've seen before it. Iron Man has easily kicked cars and slid them multiple feet away, punched the heads and body parts off of hammer drones, ragdolled and tossed around Thor, and lifted an SUV. Now, as for this SUV, it's the Audi Q7 to be specific. The Audi Q7 alone is 5,313 pounds. I added my estimated weight of the 4 passengers in the car as well to get a more accurate weight, and with all those numbers combined, you get a total of 5,763 pounds. In this clip, Tony does obviously struggle to hold the car up, but I'd personally argue that has more to do with the awkward angle he's lifting from, rather than the car being too heavy. From that angle, the weight is unbalanced and gravity doesn't exactly agree with how he's holding the vehicle. If he picked it up properly from the bottom, I believe he would have a much easier time holding it up. In flight, Iron Man is capable of reaching speeds faster than sound. He's also a smaller target who also just so happens to be very agile and maneuverable in the air, making him a hard target to hit. Iron Man has repulsors that can send grown men flying, one-off lasers that cut through hammer drones with ease, a powerful unibeam that can knock even the Ironmonger suit off of his feet, and high explosive missiles all over his body. Some missiles that tear through hammer drones, and some that can one-shot tanks. Iron Man's armor is bulletproof, tough enough to hold after getting shot down by a tank, take multiple large missiles and explosions, and can also stay in one piece even after getting blasted multiple times with Chitauri energy weapons. He also gets blasted by Thor's lightning, which only ends up charging his suit. Up next, we got Thor, the Asgardian god of thunder. Thor is strong enough to throw a woman from her falling car to Ultron's flying city, effortlessly snap an opponent's neck with one hand, easily throws an alien hundreds of feet away, can physically contest with the Hulk and stop his attacks for extended periods of time, and can also stagger him. Thor's flight speed can kind of vary. He can move around the same pace as Iron Man, but also should be capable of FTL travel, like when he uses Mjolnir to fly long distances nearly instantaneously. Thor's been blasted by Iron Man's repulsors, punched and beaten by Hulk, and was at ground zero of an entire exploding city. Thor's lightning powers are absolutely insane and would 1000% give the Covenant a run for their money. Thor can control weather and summon large storms. His blasts can send people flying, stagger and push back large groups, and take down Leviathans. Remember Iron Man's lasers that did this? Well, those same lasers couldn't damage a Leviathan without losing power.
Sir, we will lose power before we penetrate that shell.
Last but not least, we got the Incredible Hulk. I don't think I even need to say very much, do I? When trying to lift Mjolnir, Hulk damaged the ground he was standing on. He takes out Chitauri speeders with little more than a slap or his own body weight. He effortlessly tears apart a fighter jet, throws a jeep, throws an airplane fin and a forklift, punches Ultron and sends him flying. He can jump exceptional heights. He also takes fire from a fighter jet, like the rounds just bounce right off of his skin. He also takes a large barrage of enemy weapons coming from Chitauri speeders. This is the same Hulk that found himself on an alien planet with all kinds of powerful creatures, and quickly found himself becoming the most feared and powerful combatant in this gladiatorial arena. I really do not think the Hulk needs an introduction. We did also see what appeared to be the National Guard. I think at the scene of New York during the events of the film, modern weapons should be able to kill Covenant units, so they'll probably play their own part in this conflict, but the fight will obviously mostly be decided by the Avengers, not any armed forces that may or may not be there. Now, with our team fully assembled, we must look at their opposition. Will the might of the Avengers be good enough to stage a successful defense and counterattack against a Covenant invasion force? The religious fanatics known as the Covenant touched down on New York with a singular Covenant carrier, that being specifically the Long Night of Solace, as seen in Halo Reach. The Long Night is over 95,000 feet long and 37,000 feet wide. It's a really friggin' big ship with a lot of troops inside it, likely tens of thousands. Some of the troops and vehicles the Avengers will be seeing on the battlefield are as follows. Grunts are expendable fighter troops, usually equipped with a plasma pistol, rarely anything else. Jackals are a tier above Grunts, usually being equipped with energy shields to protect themselves from incoming fire. When equipped with shields, they'll usually have smaller sidearms such as plasma pistols or needlers. When not equipped with shields, they are equipped with rifles such as needle rifles or long-range beam rifles. You'd also have skirmishers in this category as well. Drones, while not seen in-game often, are an absolute nuisance to deal with, and I hate them. They're always equipped with plasma pistols and can fly around in the air or walk on surfaces like walls or ceilings. They use these abilities to get an advantage over you with their mobility and positioning. Elites are very skilled and powerful warriors, generally considered to be close to Spartans physically, who can lift warthog-sized boulders in a bench press. They're shielded, and while those personal shields are effective against small arms connect weapons, they're very vulnerable to energy weapons, specifically plasma. Elites, depending on their rank, will differ in shield strength. They also generally come equipped with different weapons as well. Lower ranked elites like miners are usually seen with standard plasma rifles. Meanwhile, higher ranked elites like zealots can be seen with energy swords and many other weapons of their own choosing. Elites are generally seen leading squads of grunts and jackals, behaving as their leadership and support. Brutes are ferocious monsters. Unlike elites, brutes generally surpass Spartans in strength, and usually aren't seen equipped with shields of their own unless they hold a high status like chieftain. Brutes come equipped with spikers, enhanced plasma rifles, and some can even carry gravity hammers, which are very well known for their destructive capabilities. Brutes, when disarmed, will often go into a feral charge, where they lose all sense of self-preservation and make killing you their top priority. It's preferable that you don't let them touch you when they get into this state. Lastly, we have hunters. Hunters are large colonies of worm-like creatures that form into one humanoid figure, covered in heavy armor plating. They're strong and durable tanks capable of packing a serious punch with their large destructive plasma cannons. An exploitable weak spot is their back, or really any exposed parts of their wormy bodies. The Covenant ground forces will also be using ghost speeders, phantom and spirit dropships that can quickly deploy reinforcements, banshee fighters which provide effective air support, wraith tanks, possibly even anti-air wraith tanks, shade turrets, and other barricade or defensive weapons of the sort. The Covenant might even deploy a scarab or two if the situation feels dire enough. Overall, I think we've got a solid rundown on both sides, so let's take a look at what we got. I honestly don't think I need to explain myself when I say this, but Thor and Hulk are going to carry the team pretty hard. Black Widow could help against grunts and jackals, but she won't last long at all against anything more than that. Same goes for Hawkeye. I could see Captain America physically contesting with an elite, but if he gets shot in rapid succession without the protection of his shield, he'll likely get put down. I don't think he'll go down easy though. He's still an extremely skilled superhuman fighter. Now for Iron Man, this one's tricky. The Mark 7 is powerful enough to give the Covenant a serious beating. He'll absolutely be able to take down tanks and more powerful units with his crazy firepower. He too would be able to contest with stronger units such as elites. But the only thing I think I call into question is his durability. He takes energy weapons in the movie, but we don't know what they're made of. I think he could take some light plasma fire though. Lightning is obviously a natural form of plasma, and Thor's lightning is already very powerful. In the movie, when Tony gets struck with Thor's lightning, his armor not only withstands it, but also uses it to charge him up. If Tony's previous suit can take a heavy dose of plasma in its natural form, I think it's safe to say he could survive some blasts from plasma weapons as long as they're not too crazy heavy. As for both Thor and the Hulk, there is virtually nothing the Covenant could do to actually hurt or kill these two. They're both far stronger than the strongest Covenant units too. If Thor or the Hulk manage to get inside of the Long Night Carrier by simply ramming into it, the Covenant won't be able to stop them from blasting and smashing their way to the bridge and effectively ending the invasion. If the Covenant decided to glass the city, the carrier would become the primary target of these two powerhouses, and there would be very little the Covenant could do to stop them. So basically, the Avengers might take a few losses, but I definitely see them fending off a Covenant invasion solely because of Hulk and Thor. Maybe Iron Man could be considered a powerhouse, if he can take enough plasma damage to make him a massive threat. But what do you think? Do you agree? Disagree? If you liked this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and join my Discord, where we talk about cool stuff, debate different topics, and hold watch parties occasionally for random stupid movies we think are funny. You'd probably enjoy that. But with all that being said, that's all I've got for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.